My name is Tamir Harper, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Blackprint, one of the student news publications on campus, and we specifically target our audience for students of color. And our e-board had kind of a two-part question for you, if you don't mind. One, how do you handle the aggression you face from the Trump administration, and what advice would you lend to other Black people who consider themselves civil rights journalists when navigating turbulent interactions with interviewees?
Well, it's great to get a question from you. We were talking before about how you're a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, and as a member of AKA, it's exciting to get a question from you. I should also say I was the editor-in-chief of a newspaper called The Fire this time. It was an African-American newspaper on Georgetown's campus, focused a lot on African-Americans and students of color. So I think that that work is so important and so formative. So congratulations on being editor-in-chief. And in terms of how do I deal with the president's aggression? So for me, I really consider myself someone who is more concerned every single day about vulnerable populations and people who will never make it into the White House. So I often tell people I'm at work. When the president is calling me nasty or saying things, I could just continue to think I'm at work. People deserve me to be professional. People deserve me to take their concerns to the White House, especially when we think of what this nation is going through right now. People are dying. People are out of work. People are stressed out. People are sad. They're grieving. So I think about that. I really take it to heart that I have the privilege to question the president of the United States and hold people accountable. And that's the way that I think of it. And then when I get home or when I'm around my friends, I make sure to take care of myself. So if it means that I'm going to be angry, or if it means that I'm going to talk to my husband, or if it means that I'm going to go out and have a glass of wine with my girls, or at least virtually at this point, or have a long walk with a friend, all of that are the things that I feel like I can do to still take care of myself, because I am a human being. I do have opinions. I do function in a society where I have to make sure that I'm doing well and balanced in my own way. So I think that's the advice that I would give to journalists. And it's not a journalist advice, but it's take care of yourself. I think in 2020, of all the years, I've really been learning how to focus on, if I need to take a day off of work, I need to take a day off of work. If you need to not go to class because you're upset because you watched George Floyd get kneeled on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, then give yourself that beat. Because I think in college, you can get so busy with school, with clubs, that you don't take care of yourself apart from journalism. And then with journalism, especially for people who consider themselves a civil rights journalists, be prepared to have to pitch your stories over and over again, to have to really have people push back on your ideas. Everybody that I've talked to who does the work of writing about race and social justice can tell you a story about how some editor told them that that wasn't a good story, or some editor said that they were writing too many Black stories or too many stories about race. Nicole Hannah-Jones, who just won a Pulitzer Prize for covering this, for creating the 1619 Project, she talks about how editors often told her that she was writing too much about Black people, and lo and behold, she won a Pulitzer for that same thing. So I think it's stick with it. If you are passionate about writing about race and social justice, make sure you find people and seek out people who will support you, but also don't give up. Those stories are important. That doesn't mean that I will say, as someone who covered all sorts of things, I covered crime, I covered education, I covered transportation. I was an obituary writer for the Washington Post for a little bit. There are so many different topics, so you have to still do the work of being a generalist in a lot of ways, but still keep those stories top of mind if they're the stories that are important to you.